have a supercharged podcast today. All right. Disclosure. Ashley wrote that line. So I guess I have to say those. I don't know, Ash. I don't know if I can do this.
It's starting to become my thing, these one-liners. Like last week was a spicy one because what did we do? Forgot what it was.
I'm not sure, but I don't know about these. Maybe you write.
I am such a cornball. I'm seriously a goober.
I'm a wing it. I'm a improv, just like welcome to the show. Everybody.
I love to. No, I'm like this. I want to plant funny stuff, but whatever.
Oh, of course you do. It's funny. I think I'm more the serious one and you're the lighthearted. I was talking to a friend yesterday and they're talking about our podcast. And they're like, yeah, you're the more serious one. And Ashley's like the comedian of the show.
Well, you know what?
Which then I thought, wait a minute, I'm funny too.
But you know what? The funny thing is my kids, they're very close. For those of you listening, they're very close to Aunt Lindsey. And my daughter Penelope's like this. She always gets confused because Lindsey and I look so much alike. She's like, now, wait a minute, Mommy. Who's the older one? Is it Aunt Lindsey? And I go, why do you think it's Aunt Lindsey? Because she's always the one that's like, now, Ashley, you need to stop doing that now, Ashley.
Oh, you mean the responsible, mature one? Okay. So we're thinking it's about how our skin looks. And no, they're talking about, how we act.
We act. Because you know what Penelope's thinking? Y'all both old.
That's true.
If you are older than 15, you're old. I was actually at her lunch. This is the cutest story real quick. I was actually at her lunch, visited her at lunch, and this little boy across was trying to ask the table, like, guess how old my cousin is? And some people were like 4 and some people were like 12. And I go, 50, just to see his reaction. He gave me the biggest eyes. He goes, 50? I go, yeah, he's 50. He goes, oh my, no. It was so funny. And so I said, how old is he? He goes, he's 15.
15.
Yeah, that's old to him. I had to do it for shock value.
Never ask a child to guess your age. You'll just be sad.
I had to do it. No, I had to do it for shock value. It was the best. I cracked up for like 5 full minutes. He thought it was nuts.
Today, we are going to be learning about blue light and EMF radiation. There's a lot to learn about this, and I love these podcasts, even for us, because every podcast that we do, because we do so much research, even I learn, I don't want to say that sounds like even I, but even I learned 1 or 2 things.
Oh my God, stop. You don't have any ego problems at all. Your confidence is full.
Mom brought me out with a lot of confidence. No, I love every podcast because I learn things too. There's no possible way we'd know every single thing. So that one thing that I learn each time, I learned a lot actually, especially we're doing some renovations in our house and stuff right now. And just one of the things, and I can talk about it later, but we put a security system up in our home and there's all these wireless security systems. And we went for a hardwired one, which is more of a pain. I'm not saying it's not because you have to do all these wires and stuff, but it just one of the small things that you can do. Listen, the things that we're going to talk about are kind of annoying and a pain, like the changes to make because they're not convenient. We're such in a world of convenience now. And after research shows, hey, go back to the basics.
I know.
Go back to, and we're like, no, we want that latest gadget and stuff. But we're going to talk about how to protect yourself and minimize your exposure. So that's what I'm talking about. So damage like premature aging, because we want it always to bring it back to the skin, and cellular damage. And of course, that affects your skin too. So unless you live in the middle of nowhere and are not using any electronics or electricity, that does include a microwave. I can't imagine living without a microwave, but you can use a microwave, but we're going to give you tips on how to use it safer. And then this episode is a definite must for you to listen to.
Now, I did want to say this before we dive into today's EMF cell phones. I want to give you an update on my
EMF and cell phones.
Oh yeah. Sorry. EMF radiation and cell phones and all that stuff. Excuse me. Yes. I want to give you an update on my cellulite journey. So you may have heard this, as I mentioned in another podcast, one of our community members asked Lindsey and I about fascia blasting and what is our opinion on it. And this really aligned with one of my goals this year is to seriously reduce my cellulite. Again, you can't get rid of it, but I really wanted to reduce my cellulite so I feel comfortable wearing shorts.
And we just did a podcast on that, and it is episode 97. It's entitled Cellulite Treatment with At-Home Options. So I encourage you to go back and listen to it because we go over the ways to help do that too.
Yes. And so I've been doing those. But then I also began experimenting because this community member asked us about the fascia blaster. So I was doing it on my legs and stomach. And I did a lot of research. I, watched tons of videos. I, looked up articles. And then I also went to my doctor, a holistic doctor who knows so much about the body. And here's what I wanted to go ahead and give you. I want to say that my overall answer and my personal opinion is no, I do not recommend this. And I would like to say it really makes me sad to say that because I really, really wanted this to work. And I wanted it to be the tool that ended my cellulite because it would just be like, oh, cool, I can just do this and get rid of it. However, during the process, I bruised all over my legs, all over my tummy. And I also found it was really, really painful. And the research that's been done for the fascia blasting, for me, is just not enough and it's not extensive for me to endure this painful process, as well as the bruises all over my body.
Yeah, you're going to look worse going out with the bruises.
It looks like something's going on. I mean, hey, are you okay, Ashwee?
Just doing this for cellulite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, no, but it also really hurts. So what I did is I even brought the tool to my doctor just to confirm.
Which doctor? But it wasn't your MD. It was a chiropractor, right?
No, it was my chiropractor, and he's a holistic doctor, and he's helped me out so much. And he suggested instead of this, he said, why don't you do foam rolling? So he was so kind. He even demonstrated how to do the foam rolling. And he was like, you want to go slow. You want to lay on the foam roller. And it's going to be a gentler way to reduce your cellulite. And the price.
Now, actually, I want to interrupt. Now, foam rollers to me, they're not comfortable either.
No, they're not comfortable, but it was a definite gentler way to do it. Okay. And again, I'm going to put it back to our other podcast because those things that we discussed in our podcast, those are the things that I'm going to do. I'm just telling you from the doctor's point of view. He was like, he didn't listen to our podcast and because I just was in there for a quick question. But this was his tool that he was like, hey, instead of doing this claw thing.
He didn't listen to our podcast. Doctor, I'm going to just play this for you real quick.
I'm going to allow you to give me a little bit of feedback and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Okay.
It's about, 40, 45 minutes.
You can learn something too. Thank you. Yeah. We're like, colleagues here. Anyways. I did want to say the price difference is kind of interesting too. The foam roller you can get for $20. The fascia blaster, $149. So again, I just want to say this is all my opinion. I'm going to do the things that we discussed in our cellulite treatment podcast. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to continue to drink lots of water, do my toning and strength exercising to build the muscle to fill in those dimply gaps. And I still have my before pictures.
Dimply gaps.
My dimply gaps. And I still have my before pictures. And I am looking forward to showing you my results. And I just want to say, for those of you that think that this is not going to be a 5-minute result process, you may not see my photos for another 6 months because, and I have to tell this to myself daily, it takes time to change your body. It takes time to change your skin, which is what cellulite is. So the skin on your face, the skin on your body, it takes time. So if you're starting off with a retinol, it takes time. So we have got to be patient, and consistency is the key to change. And I do want to just say this lastly, cellulite is a natural part of our bodies. I'm not expecting it to go completely away. I just want to improve the appearance. And this is for me. Other people, they don't mind their cellulite. It's not like I'm looking at other people. It's just for me. And we are all made differently. And that's what makes us all uniquely beautiful. So sis, you're beautiful. And the listeners, you're beautiful. And I'm beautiful. So now we can get on with our EMF.
I am so beautiful sitting here with my copper gloves, my belly belt, and my compression hose socks on.
Okay, you're special, beautiful. But you are. I love pregnancy. It's so cute.
It's only for like literally a few more weeks. So
yeah, and we need Ellison to hang in there.
I'm pregnant, so that's what I mean by that.
Yeah, Lindsey's pregnant. And I'm like, we still need Ellison to hang on because we've got some business things that we've got to do. And I'm like, Ellison, you just wait your turn, little mister.
Ooh, wait your turn. But yeah, so yeah. So we are going to head into the show by EMF. So EMF stands for electromagnetic field. It's basically moving electrical charges. We wanted to really make this simple, like simplifying and just break it down. So everybody, when you listen to some podcasts, I'm like, what are they talking about? And I wanted to just simplify it.
Oh, I read so much scientific research and scientific videos, and it was really in the way I learn is simplified and in language that I can understand.
Electromagnetic field radiations, they are present everywhere in our environment.
And I just want to interrupt you real quick because this is also something that I found fascinating. The word radiation tends to scare the bejesus out of all of us. And let's just think about it for this quick second. Radiate just means to give off. Okay, that's all it means. So it's not like, radiation.
You automatically think cancer.
That's not what the radiation means. It's just saying it's giving off. Okay, thanks.
So I'll repeat that. Electromagnetic field radiations, which means to give off. So electromagnetic field to give off are present everywhere in our environment. So where do they come from? Where does EMF come from? Electricity, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, laptop, computers, smartphones, cell networks like 3G, 4G, 5G. You know how you can like switch that on your phone. Alexa. What's the other one? There's Alexa and there's like Google something that you can,
I don't know.
Like Google Home or whatever. Electric grids, power lines, microwaves, anything wireless, basically electricity and electronic devices. They are even in baby monitors, which Ash and I were talking about that because I do have a baby monitor and I don't think we're going to turn it on right away. We really tried really hard to find a hardwired monitor. If y'all know one, please send it to me. Please DM me, Lindsey, our holder, or get into our group and send it to me. I can't find one that fits what we need. So we did have to get one. So at the beginning, we're not going to turn it on because I'm just going to have the baby right there. Like right beside, like I'm the baby monitor.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't need it at the beginning.
I don't need it at the beginning. And I just felt weird. And we're also not going to there's that little outlet sock that you can put on the baby to monitor everything. And it's Wi-Fi and stuff. We're not doing any of that. Like we're going back to old school. Just there he is. He's right there.
Right.
Well, you're probably wondering what are the harmful effects of EMF? Like, why should we pay attention to this? DNA and cellular damage with long exposure to mid to high frequency radiation. Your body is affected by EMF. So let me just give you an example on this. So if you are on a device, let's say your cell phone or whatever, you are absorbing EMFs. Those EMFs are telling your body to run, to move, to like be stressed out. And instead of doing that, like you're not relaxing or sleeping. So think of a child or an adult playing a video game. They're all worked up, yet they are sitting there playing on it. That's one of the reasons there is that advice like limit your screen time. So just take this as a friendly reminder to go outside, breathe fresh air, move your body, like get out in nature. Kids have recess for a reason. And that's probably why they're running wild because they're like, they've been on their screen. They're like, they need to release it. So especially like if you're at work, take a little break here and there. Maybe on your lunch hour, go take a little walk, like get outside, get that sunshine. Very important. If you can, take off your shoes, step in the grass as well. If you're able to do that, it's coming spring. Spring is here. So it's a good time to do that. Now, can we just run away in the middle of nowhere, eat by the firelight? Probably not.
Or probably.
Maybe for like a week if you're camping. But we're going to take a practical approach. Most of us are in, obviously, cities, suburbs, whatever. And we're going to look at how we can reduce our exposure.
So I love this part. So we've got some tips for reducing your exposure. First one is...
We took off one of those tips because it was a bit extreme.
It was a bit extreme.
Ashley went to a whole new level. I was like, I don't think that's practical.
So I deleted it. Lindsey always keeps me in check. That's why I love working with her.
It's like blackout at your house. Like, house shuts down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm one of those people that would run to the middle of the nowhere and eat my firelight. And I'd be out there for 2 days and they'd be like, that's all right. I'm coming back. Anyways, turn off your router before you go to sleep. Stay 5 meters away from your Wi-Fi modem. Do not sleep with your phone in the same room. And this is a big one. A lot of people do this. And I want you to think about it this way. Your cell phone is an EMF device and it is connecting to the Wi-Fi or your cell tower, whatever. And you are absorbing that while you sleep. With all EMFs, I want you to remember the further away you are, the EMFs drop. So keep that in mind. And if you have your cell phone while you're at work, push it away from you.
So I have been doing that for it hadn't been long. I'm going to admit it's only been 2 to 3 weeks. So what I used to do was put it on airplane mode, but now I have it on airplane mode and then I keep it in my bathroom.
Love that.
'Cause my bathroom, so I'm having that division of that wall between us.
That's so smart.
It's in the bathroom. I need to get an alarm, like an old school alarm clock. Although wait, I have that on I have a Hatch, but I also have something else. So I have it on there so I can set my alarm on that. I wake up before my alarm lately, so I haven't had to use an alarm.
Okay. Well, speaking of the phone, because some people wear it like on them all the time, and this made me think of the wearable tech. And if you're thinking, well, what are you talking about, Ashley? I'm talking about people that are wearing their phones, the Apple Watches, the Aura rings that monitor, your sleep and all that stuff.
I'm about to sell my Apple Watch. I haven't worn it in 2 years, and I don't feel comfortable with that on my body anymore.
Yeah, because in my opinion, no, do not have that stuff. It is so close to your body.
Yeah.
And you want it as far away as you can get it. And let me tell you something. I know it sucks. I see all these fit, cool people with their cool Apple Watches on, and it just looks so good, and they're monitoring.
Or their Fitbit, whatever.
Yeah. But honestly, we just don't know the long-term effects that these wearable devices can have on our systems. It's too new. I mean, we just don't know. And like Lindsey said, and this is what I want you to think of at night, if you must have the cell phone in your room at night, then at least put it on airplane mode. Okay, that's my tip number one. Mm-hmm. And then turn it face down so the light won't be shining up, because that light affects your melatonin in your brain, and that can prevent you from getting into a deep sleep. Also, think about removing your cell phone charger from your bedroom. And instead of your phone, use a battery-operated alarm clock. That's another suggestion. Don't have any wireless devices in your bedroom or your children's rooms, if it's possible. I'm going to repeat this because this is a good one.
I was going to say, for your battery-operated alarm clock, Ashley, what's that device that you have? We have the same one. It's nice because it has a glow. It lights up naturally, rises like the sun. Do you know what that's called?
I forgot. I don't know.
You got it off Amazon, but it has an alarm clock feature, but it also has the light just naturally comes on. That's one's a nice one.
It is, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a grumpy bear. It doesn't matter that this one, I got this one because I thought it would solve my problems. I thought the nice warm glow would make me wake up, and then it's got birds tweeting, and I just want to throw it at somebody's face. I hate any type of waking me up other than maybe a cup of coffee and a massage. Like that's the only, that's the only
coffee beans right underneath your nose. Oh, there we go.
I think because I think of waking up as it hurts me. It is painful. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. Put your phone on airplane mode whenever possible. Right now, Lindsey and I are recording this podcast, and I have my phone in the same room, which I love the idea of putting it out next time. I'm going to put it out, but I put it on airplane mode. Don't use wireless headphones. Both Lindsey and I have the wired ones.
Yeah.
That's a big tip as well, because you don't want that next to your brain.
You actually really drilled that into me. It took a couple of years because I admit I had my AirPods and I spent a lot of money on my AirPods, and they are so convenient and easy and don't get in the way. You don't get tangled in them and everything.
So true story. When Lindsey owned her spa, I worked there too. And so we would all be in charge of answering the phone. And I brought my wired headphones and Lindsey had her Bluetooth. And I refused to put those things in my ear and answer the phone. And it was a daily fuss. It's like, just stop it, Ashley. It was, looking back on it, was so funny. And I was so adamant. I would tell Lindsey, I was like, I'm not getting brain cancer. I don't care.
It was a daily fuss.
And then the other staff would just look at us like, oh my word, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, you've been doing that for a while and now it's drilled into me and I appreciate it now. And so, yeah, I don't use wireless headphones.
So is the word you're trying to say is, I'm sorry, Ashley? And you were right?
Not sorry, but maybe like,
so sorry?
That's cool.
No, I think I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
No, I don't need to be forgiven, but like, thanks. That's cool. There's a compliment.
Yeah. If you watch TV at night, then here's 2 different suggestions. You can wear blue light glasses while watching it so it won't affect your melatonin levels, or just don't watch it 2 hours before you go to bed.
Okay, let's bring some practicality back to 2 hours before bedtime. That's a bit much. But I'm going to say this. I have so I got a Hatch and it has a red light option on it. So I put that on and I am going to start also getting red light little lamps that you can turn on at night. So then you're adjusting your light, you're getting your body
prepared,
ready for sleep, prepared for sleep. And then they just naturally will turn on. And I'm also going to get...
Wait a minute. So I'm just sorry. How many lamps are you going to have? Like aesthetically? Is it just like a small little thing?
No, I just watch... There's just 2 areas that I watch TV at night. There's just my living room and then my bedroom. And yes, a lot of people don't watch TV in their bedroom, but I am opposite. It actually relaxes me to where I want to go to sleep.
So you're going to switch your bulbs out and put red bulbs in?
No, I'm going to get a separate red light that turns on at night. So I'm going to try to do that. It's just real small. I want to do...
Oh, it's small. Okay.
And then I also want a clip-on red light for book reading. So you can adjust your lighting and see it. So it just helps everything with your light adjustment and you're wanting to go to sleep.
That's cool.
faster.
I love those tips. I really like that little red light tip so much. Do you just get it on Amazon?
And I just can't walk downstairs because Jeff has all the overhead lights on in his room. It is like, I feel like, when you go into the construction zone and like has all those big bright lights.
Yeah.
His room is every single light is on overhead. So it is so bright. And I'm like, I need to start wearing my sunglasses when I pass it because we're on 2 different levels.
Isn't that interesting how your partner may not be on board? So you've got to just kind of switch it up and just do your best.
I have to just adjust to what works for me.
Exactly. Yeah. I would like to mention this. If you live near a cell tower, which some of us do, or you are in an apartment or a condo and you're concerned about your EMF levels, there are things you can do. You can get a bed shield and that bed shield will either capture the EMFs or it will reflect it. However, these have metal parts to it. So you need to make sure there's no electricity in your room because then you've just undone the good stuff. Then you become a magnet. Also, if you're going to get an EMF blanket, just make sure it doesn't have any foil or metal because if that breaks off, then you're breathing in that metal. So that's something to look out for. So here's what my suggestion is. If you're going to go to that level and you're concerned about it, I would hire a professional and have them come do some tests in your home, your apartment, your condo, and then have them show you where you can put your bed shield and what one to buy.
I'm going to put in our Shop My store some of the products that we've talked about that I know that I'm getting. And
I really want you to put that red light in there because...
Yeah, I'll put the one for the book, and then the little lamps and stuff. And
I'm excited for the lamps. I'm like, oh, hurry up and put it in there because this is why I love doing a podcast with Lindsey. She keeps these cute little secrets to herself. And then I find it out whenever y'all find it out.
Oh. And I already have the EMF blanket that I want and the...
You're a stinker.
So, Ashley, you can just go where everybody else can go. And that is inside our shop store. And you can find out what I've chosen.
Where can I find this, Lindsey?
You head to lindseyholder.com and then just shop my faves and there it will be. And then,
gosh,
you can do that. Are you looking for a product that is going to help you look youthful without having to use Botox or fillers or a facelift? Usually if you're in your 40s or around then. I'm 46, so that's why I'm talking from my personal skincare experiences. I have a couple of skin products and devices up my sleeve, and when I tell you that women really say, okay, what is your secret without doing that? I have a few secrets. One of them is called OneSkin. OneSkin is a topical nutrient that it actually reduces your skin's biological age. I mean, it is incredible. Your skin will look younger and it's acting younger as well. It's incredible. The science is ridiculously, incredible. I can't tell you that enough. Go to lindseyholder.com/OneSkin, all one word, ONESKIN, and use discount HOLDER15, that's HOLDER 15, to begin your anti-aging skin journey. This topical skincare supplement can replace most of your products. If you're looking for like an all-in-one product, this is my recommendation. This is my go-to. No matter your age, even if you want to look younger by reducing your wrinkles, or if you want to increase your thickness around your eyes, improve your skin's pores, even out your tone, your skin barrier, hyperpigmentation, improve your skin's elasticity, like all of the above, then you need to try this incredible product. By the way, was invented, this is cool, by 4 women scientists, and they have degrees from immunology, bioinformatics, stem cell biology, and molecular biology. That is so impressive to me. Thank you, OneSkin, for offering all of us this discount of HOLDER15 for that 15% off for products purchased at lindseyholder.com/OneSkin. Both Ashley and I use the eye and the face product both morning and night every single day. I also use the body one as well, because I want to slather that all over my body and make that look youthful too. Enjoy this discount. This one is for you.
Now, let's get on to this subject because I know you are excited about it. I know you want to know. It starts with an M and it's called microwaves.
Okay, that's just going too far.
I'm on my 4th cup of coffee, so...
Well, you need to maybe just...
I'm switching to water.
Have a sip before you start. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm switching to water. Stop it. I can't.
Yeah, just microwaves.
Anyway, stop it. I feel like I was on The Price is Right. Ooh, come on down.
Okay, Ashley.
Okay, sorry. All right. Microwaves produce the same frequency as a Bluetooth, but on a much higher level. It has a big electromagnetic field. Now, do I use a microwave? Yes. Does Lindsey use a microwave? Yes. But here is what we all need to do. When you turn your microwave on, that's when the electromagnetic field starts operating. That's when it starts to turn on. So when you turn your microwave on, then you need to stand back 6 meters or 20 feet from the front door of that microwave to significantly reduce your levels absorbed. If you don't know what 6 meters is, you can think about it as the equivalent to about 5 love seats side by side or 4 bathtubs. If your kitchen is not that large, then what I do is I turn the microwave on and then I leave the room. And then when it's done cooking, I come back in. So that's what I do. Easy, quick fix.
I think that's great. The further away you are from your phone, microwave, anything that's an EMF device, the lower that radiation will be. So if you're one of those people who wears your cell phone, this is something you want to be aware of. And I think what you mean, like it's always in your pocket, it's always on your body.
It makes me so sad because I see so many people that wear their cell phones. They even have like the yoga leggings where they're like, ooh, it's got a cell phone pocket in there. And I'm like, I'm not putting that on my body. Everybody, the young people, the middle schooler or high schoolers, they always are wearing their cell phone. And I just want to hone it in. Get it off your body if you can.
Yeah. I have a question though. And so I think, and I don't know the answer to this, we'll probably have to look into this, but I like to walk, and I do like to have my cell phone on when I walk, but I usually try to download a podcast, and that way I'm not broadcasting over the Wi-Fi.
So download the podcast and then turn your phone on airplane mode.
Airplane mode, yeah. Okay, and then that way you're still, and then use your non-wireless headphones.
Then you can listen to your podcast because it's recorded, but you're on airplane mode. That's a great alternative.
Yeah, just want to have a solution for people who are like, well, when I walk, I want to listen to this, or I want to listen to my music or whatever. Just download it before you do. Just prepare ahead. It doesn't take that long.
Just prepare ahead. Yeah. I don't know how you would do the music part. Like if you have like Spotify or Apple Music, I don't know. But I think that at least maybe, if anything, maybe you could turn off your cellular for everything except for Spotify. Maybe something like that.
Yeah. Or I think you can download, especially if you have iTunes, you can download it. You just pay your Apple Music. You can download it and just have your playlist. You can do that. I download my meditations too at night. So before I put it in my bathroom, I'll listen to my meditation, and then that way it's on airplane mode. I listen to it, and then I put it in my bathroom. Just FYI, just want to let you know. So depending on like how many gadgets and the type and the strength of your gadgets and the Wi-Fi in your area, you're going to find higher levels of radiation in your environment. So how close are you to cell phone towers? How powerful, is your neighbor's Wi-Fi? Oh my gosh, that's a good one.
And I put that question in there because you know why? In my neighborhood, it was advertised about everybody installing 5G. And so some of your neighbors may install 5G, and then you're like, no, I don't want to, but your neighbor's got it.
Your neighborhood's just right there. Oh my goodness. So as well as cell mesh networks installed by your town or city. If you are curious, you can actually find out how much your home is exposed with an EMF reader, or hire a professional like Ashley mentioned. I would love to hire a professional and just have them
I think that would be a really great investment.
Just like, we can do this all ourselves. We should hire a professional and then discuss our findings on the show.
I love that. So products that you can buy to help you shield from your EMF exposure until you're able to hire that professional. And you can find these anywhere. You can purchase an EMF protection phone pouch, EMF protection blankets and pillowcases like Lindsey mentioned. Don't put your computer on your lap or your body. I see a lot of people doing that. But if you must, at least buy an EMF protection laptop mat. I mean, that's something. And then the natural approach. So you might be wondering about Shungite. It is Shungite is
Shungite, Ashley. Yeah.
Thank you. You're going to have to say it for me.
Everybody's wondering about Shungite this morning. Aren't you wondering about that?
Stop. I'm going to smack you. It is a mineraloid. So I want you to think of an opal or a pearl. And it is black, and mine reminds me of a black smooth stone, although you can get ones that aren't smoothed out. It's made up of carbon atoms and also has antioxidant properties. Here's a neat fact that I discovered. In Austria, this is so cool, they do not have to purify their water because it passes through the shungite in their land, and it can absorb some heavy metals and chemical pollution in drinking water. It is believed to protect against EMFs, but there's not enough scientific data to absolutely prove it is true. So, however, in my opinion, it can't hurt. I have one on my computer as well as in my pillowcase. And now I'm thinking I want to do some more research on it. I want to put it in my drinking water, but I need to find out where I bought it from because I read that some shungite cannot get wet. And then I discovered that elite shungite is the strongest shungite to use for your drinking water. And of course, it's the most expensive kind, as of course. If you want to read a great example about water purification using shungite, look up Lake Onega in Russia, Onega. I thought that was a really, really neat. So I'm going to investigate in that for drinking water.
Maybe you can put in our Shot My where you can get that stone.
You know what? That's a great idea because I was going to research where to find one, and I'm going to write myself a little note.
Yeah. Or you could do our group. So you can just put it, we'll do it either in our group or the Shot My. I think that would be good.
Yeah, I'll put it in Lapre Beauty. You can find Lapre Beauty. When we talk about our group and send us a message and stuff, it's Lapre Beauty. It's our online skincare community that's led by Lindsey, and I do the research in there. And you can find that at www.lindseyholder.com, LINDSEY, holder.com. I will put in all of this information in there. It's going to be in Skin School. I don't put it out. I put bits and pieces out on our blog, but I hold all the information especially for our community members. And I'm going to add myself a little note to find out where is the best place to find the Should Night.
The thing about our membership that's pretty cool that you don't get through a lot is that you can actually, like with other platforms, you can talk to us directly in there. All of our members, we have a great relationship with them, and you can send us a direct message. It's kind of like an email. It's right there if you have questions, and we usually answer the questions on the show, or we'll answer you straight from the DM. We don't leave you hanging. We let you know where to find your information. So to be able to have that connection and the ability to communicate with an esthetician, and Ashley, who has a background in education and does a ton of research for the show and for the membership, it's really just so special. It really is special. We wanted to create something unique for you to join, to feel a part of, where you can connect with us. So it's just Ashley and I. We're small business. We're two moms. I can say I'm a mom now. Two moms. And this is what we do for a living. So we take it seriously. And Ashley does a ginormous happy dance every time we get a new member. And she immediately texts me. She gets so excited. And she responds really quickly and fast, and you sometimes like, okay, settle down, Ashley.
And then Lindsey responds as well. And I would like to say
I do take a little longer, but yeah.
She takes a little longer because there's some questions I'm like, you know what? That's a good question. This needs to come from somebody that's got, like Lindsey, 13 years of experience of seeing this over and over, and what's the best protocol. So when we say we respond, give us a minute. It may not be that day.
Well, because I also have all these other questions that I'm working on too and preparing for the show. And there's so much. So we do respond. And I may say, that's a great question. I'll get right back to you. And then it's so cool. Then you're going to see my response, and you'll see Ashley's response. Just like, for example, the member who asked you about the fascia blasting, and you gave her, like, you really did your research and you tried it out, and then you gave her your honest opinion. And then you helped her for that.
Oh, so, yeah. I saved her $150 in bruises.
Well, she can decide what she wants to do. We're not saying don't,
Yes, that's true. Yes. If you want to do it, go for it. But
you can go for it, but you gave your opinion. I want to talk about blue light for a minute and how it affects your eyes and your skin. So that's important. So you're actually exposed to blue light when you're looking at your computer, laptop. Oh, this makes me want to put on, just when I said that. Hold on. Let me put on my blue light glasses. There we go. Have them right here. Now I'm really looking cute. My outfit is on point today. Cuff gloves.
I told Lindsey a cute fun fact. Lindsey's having some major anti-inflammatory issues with her joints and typing and everything. And I'm going to put this on the record. I'm blasting out Lindsey. I said, Lindsey, you need to switch to low sugar diet and gluten-free because it may be reacting with your joints. And Lindsey's like, I'm not talking to you, Ashley.
I am pregnant and my sugar's not that bad.
But you're like, I will eat the gluten.
This is the thing. When non-pregnant Lindsey, I'm sensitive to gluten. I have an intolerance, so I can't have it. When I got pregnant, I was like, whoa, I could eat it. There's just like,
obviously you can't though, because you're swollen and your joints are hurting. So obviously you can't.
It was fun having that bite of pasta.
Yeah, you're still eating it though. Don't be like in past tense. It was fun. I'm like, what you having for lunch today, sissy?
Yeah, I do need to go back to that. And plus I know after the baby that I have to go back to gluten-free. Anyway, so you're exposed to blue light when you're looking at your computer, laptop, smartphone, or your TV. Long-term exposure is said to cause issues. I'm sorry. I just laughed because in my notes, Ashley put flat screen TV. It's whatever TV that you have. But Ashley was very specific.
You're welcome.
Your Samsung 24/6 flat screen, mega wide, just your TV. Okay. Long-term exposure is said to cause issues with your eyes and your skin For your eyes, it can cause digital eye strain, headaches. I know that for like 100%. Like that definitely does it for me. But for your skin, which I'm always wanting to know what's it going to do to my skin, it can cause photo aging, also known as premature aging, damage to your skin's barrier, which we know how important that is, hyperpigmentation, and age spots. Actually, stop playing with your hair. I'm trying to... Just because I'm up talking, like, pay attention.
I am paying attention, but I'm a fidgeter.
You are. Gosh. These are due to the free radicals that are found from blue light exposure. So that's why, again, you always hear about limiting your screen time. So for your eyes, blue light blocking eyeglasses are pretty expensive, and they're still debatable about, whether they work or not. I would suggest you invest in glasses that block 100% UVA and UVB light. This will also help protect the collagen and elastin around your eyes that give you crow's feet. Ooh! So there we go. For eye strain, and we'll put some examples of glasses also in our shop. So lindseyholder.com, go to the shop. It's right there, Shop My Faves. And we have them categorized by podcast. So look for our cell phone radiation EMF podcast, and everything will be right there. So you don't have to hunt all over the internet. We've done it for you. For eye strain, blink your eyes a lot. Use artificial eye drops and tears. Follow the 20-20 rule, which is every 20 minutes, stare at something that is 20 feet away if you have eye strain. For your phone, just to recap.
This is such a good one. No, this isn't a recap. This is the best tip. And you're going to love this one.
Well, I do want to recap. Turn it off airplane mode. I'm going to do that. But for the...
Oh, I'm so excited about this tip.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. We did. I'm going to emphasize it again. But also turn it on night mode. I have mine on night mode. This will significantly reduce your blue light exposure and switch it to the harmless yellow light. For an Apple phone, depending on what version you have, turn to either night shift, night mode, or dark. Mine is set on a timer, so it automatically does it at a certain time. So you could do that. And then, you could do like the sleep to rise.
Mine's not on a timer. I just switched it to dark, so it's always dark.
It's dark. Yeah. And then for an Android phone, turn to the blue light filter. Now, for your skin, let's talk about that. Definitely use an antioxidant serum with vitamin C. I love using vitamin C in the morning. Use that to protect yourself all day. And you can find one with Polypodium leucomotus. This blue light mainly affects people with darker skin pigmentation. When looking for an SPF moisturizer, find one that contains large particle zinc oxide and iron oxide. Okay, so again, that's zinc oxide and iron oxide that protects against visible light. Most sunscreens don't have iron oxide. We found one that does and put it in our online store under sunscreens. So again, go to lindseyholder.com, shop my faves. It's going to be right there. You might also find iron oxide in your tinted moisturizer. So you can put that on top of your sunscreen and then put your sunscreen on and then top it off with a tinted moisturizer. You can also get a blue light screen cover for your monitor. So that is another thing that you can do.
And another point I want to make is that if you have a wound on your face from an acne sore or a cut or something, you want to make sure you put a bandage over it to protect it from the sun. And I want to give you a real live example. This is such a cool story. When my son was 2 years old, he got a nasty cut on his forehead with stitches. And Lindsey was adamant about me not getting any sun on his cut. So he wore a brimmed hat until it healed. And then I would also cover it up with a bandage whenever the sun hat was not enough, like if we were going to a playground or something. And do you know, he doesn't even have a scar. And I want you to know, my Playdate friends thought I was nuts at the time because he wore his hat everywhere. I didn't care. I wanted to protect his little face, and it worked. So this little example is why we do this podcast. I was so thankful that I had Lindsey, who is seriously, I'm not saying this is seriously the most talented esthetician I've ever met, because I've been to so many estheticians, and she is just really gifted. And she guided me through these important skincare moments in my life. This was just one example. There have been others. I tell you the story of my personal hardships with melasma. It was really a tough time. But I was so blessed to have access to her. And I knew in that moment, I was like, dang, I am so lucky because most people don't have that advantage. And that right there, because we get a lot of people, why are you doing, you already know it all. Why is it that you're doing the podcast in the community? Because we are here to help you. A lot of people don't have access to this information. And especially with Lindsey working on so many women for over 13 years, she just knows stuff that you would only know if you had the experience.
Yeah, I've seen on just so many different women's skin texture, tone, situations, medical history, gut issues, supplements, medications, how this reacts with that, everything. In fact, Ashley and I are starting a new thing where we're going to be reviewing different products and stuff. And we have even a spreadsheet because we take this seriously. I feel like we're like little skincare scientists and we're figuring out what we like, what we don't. And there's just this whole rigorous process that we go through to make it on the shelf that we like stand behind. And businesses change, skincare businesses change. And when we find something that we don't like, we're just going to, we just take it off. This is one thing I don't do. I'm a little different this way. I promote things that usually work. I don't bash things that don't work. So an example of that, you even heard on the podcast, Ashley did not give any names of the Fascia Blaster, the actual company name. She just said in general. So that's just an example because we're not trying to bash any company. I don't believe in that method, but I love bringing light and positivity to the companies that we do represent and we really think highly of. So yeah, go to our community. We love to have you. It's so easy to join. It's lindseyholder.com. We are going to have an app soon too. We're still working on that. And that's going to be fun. This is an app too, but there's just a process to get to it. But soon we're going to have the Live Pre Beauty app. So be on the lookout for that. And lastly, before we go, you want to make our day. If you want to do something that does not cost anything, it takes you 10 seconds. Rate our podcast. Like seriously, we get so excited. That keeps us in the top spots and allows us to do this podcast. And if you're thinking right now, okay, well, somebody else can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm talking to you actually. You matter. It makes a big difference. So whether you have just parked your car and you're waiting for your to-go order or you're doing whatever, you got your skincare mask on, it literally takes just a second. Just scroll down, hit 5 stars, please. And then 1 or 2 sentences makes the biggest difference. If you've ever wanted somebody to do something for you, think about that. You can do something for us too. And that's what we're asking for. We really appreciate you joining the show today.
That was a real big guilt trip right there. I'm just saying. The listeners are like this. Whoa. Okay.
Hey, you don't ask, you don't get. That's what I've heard.
You don't. And I would like to say, in all seriousness, we got 3 reviews this past week. I'm not allowed to call Lindsey. Lindsey has her boundaries set. I'm not allowed to call her after 7 p.m.
That's right. I do have my boundaries set.
Well, I dialed that number after 7 p.m. and I go, oh my God, look at these reviews we just got in. And you did pick up and you were happy because I read them out loud. They were so, so nice. And when you give us a review, no joke, it encourages me so much. I can't even tell you how much. Well, I know it encourages Lindsey too.
Yeah. And I read them to Jeff too, my husband.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. I read them to Ryan. I'm like, and I read them to my kids. I'm like, look at what somebody just said. So it really does make a difference. We are just 2 little people in this big.
I'm not so little right now, but yeah.
But in the big, 4 Fortune 500 companies. So it really makes a difference. So just thank you. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much. And you know how when you're starting a new business and stuff like that, your husband's like, oh, your cute little podcast.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what Ryan's all like this. That's so cute. And I'm like, but
I want to say, listen, I built a very successful spa and sold it and able to do this for a living now. And I'm so excited that now we're building this business up, and we're just so excited to see where it's going to go. And we want you to come with us on this journey to get in and be a part of this, because this is why we do it. Otherwise, I would just be literally talking to Ashley.
Excuse you. Oh my goodness.
You're fun to talk to, but I'm saying I wouldn't just like this would not be my job. You know what I'm saying?
It would be your job, because I have a lot of questions. I would be bothering you so much.
I want to talk to other people, other ladies too. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for joining today. This was, to me, I love this episode. It was so good. I cannot wait to even make some adjustments in my own home as well. I know that things like this take time to make the adjustment. So why don't this week you listen to this, look through the show notes, and make one change, just one change, an easy, simple change. It's not too hard, and you'll feel better about yourself. And then maybe next week, make another one. Like, just do it in small, slow increments. One simple change that wouldn't even cost you a thing is putting your cell phone in airplane mode and getting out of your room. I mean, that literally...
And that's easy. And then, or change it to dark mode. Like, go to settings and do that. You can do that after you give us our review.
Yeah, exactly. But just that one, we got to work on your laugh, Ashley. Like,
oh, do we? Okay.
No, that is not it. That is not it. Thank you for also bearing with us. We are sisters. I don't know if you knew that or not. So this is why we sound like this. So anyway, thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Until next time.